Hey guys, what's up? It's Eric with Advanced Level Automotive. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another quick video. Today, we're taking a look at this new scan tool the guys over at Thinkcar just sent me. This is called the Thinkscan SD. This one in particular is the SD6 model. There's also an SD4 model, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, before I continue the video, I do want to say that no, this video is not sponsored. Essentially, they sent this to me for free. I want to make this video to help you guys decide whether or not this tool is the right tool for you. And if it is, and you decide to buy this, you can look in the description down below. You'll find a link for the Amazon posting where you can buy it. And I will provide you guys with a discount code. Now, if you guys do decide to purchase it through the Amazon link, yes, I do get a small commission from Amazon that goes toward helping the channel. So if you guys decide that this is the tool for you and you want to help out the channel, please check out that link below. Now, this scan tool is not going to be a high-end level professional scan tool like you see me using in a lot of my videos. This one is more of a mid-level scan tool. It's not going to have a lot of the bidirectional controls that you'll find in a professional scan tool, but this one has a lot more capabilities than a lot of the other DIY scan tools you're going to find on the market. Not only does this thing have full global OBD2 functions, it also reads airbag modules, it reads transmission control modules, body control modules, brake control modules, and instrument clusters. On top of that, you actually have a choice between 28 different maintenance and reset functions that you can choose 5 of them for free when you buy this tool. Now, some of these functions include ABS bleeding, injector coating, tire resets, window calibration, sunroof calibration, seat calibration, suspension matching, DPF regeneration, and EGR adaptations. So as you guys can see, there is a long list of different reset functions that you can choose from. And like I said, whenever you buy this tool, it comes with 5 free resets. So you can go in there, pick the 5 free that you want, and they are yours for life. Not only are they yours for life, but the tool itself and the software that comes with it is updatable, free for life. Now, if you decide you want more than just the 5 that you get for free, you can add additional functions. Just go into the Think store on the scan tool and you can download any additional software for a very reasonable fee. Now, the scan tool might be great if you're maybe a DIY person, you like to work on a lot of your own things, maybe you like to work on your buddy's cars, or maybe you work at a maintenance shop where you do oil changes, a lot of maintenance work, and you need something that you can go in there and do some quick oil resets, maintenance, stuff like that. I think the scan tool is a great option. Now, enough talking about the scan tool. Let me take you guys over to the car and show you how this thing works. So today we're taking a look at this 2014 Jeep Compass. It's got the 4-cylinder 2.4 liter engine, and the customer complaint is that we do have a check engine light present. So we have the Thinkscan right over here. I'm going to connect the plug to the OBD2 port underneath the dash here. So if you look right up here, you can see where our port is located. So I'm going to plug it in like that. Now let's take a look at the scan tool here. You can see it's booting up. Okay, so the first thing the scan tool wants you to do is connect to the internet. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to put my password in. I'm not going to show you guys my password. Don't want you stealing my Wi-Fi. Okay, so here it's prompting us that there is a new version. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK so that we can update it. It says we actually have 2 updates that we need to do. So let's start with the top one. I'm going to hit download. So depending on your internet speed, that's going to determine how fast this thing is going to download, which I'm here in the garage. I don't have a really good signal down here, but you can see it's moving pretty quickly. All right, so we're getting toward the end of the download. You can see we're 100%, and now it's going to install. Well, that was actually pretty quick. It only took about a minute for it to update there, but it did restart itself. And so now you can see we're at the home screen. Now, we did still have one more update we needed to do. I think we can go into the setting function and find our update. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. There it is, app update. So I'm going to click on app update and see we still have that one more update we need to do. So let me go ahead and download it. Let me let this thing download and then I'll let it install. And we can get to our diagnosis here. This one's actually downloading a lot quicker. You can see here we're up to 70, 75, 80, 90, and 100. So now it's going to install it. Let me let this thing install. All right, so now that we have our update installed, we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle up. I got the key in my hand. I'm going to stick it into the ignition, fire this thing up. There we go. And if you take a look, you can see that we do have the check engine light illuminated. Let me turn the air conditioning down. It's really loud. You can see the check engine light illuminated. So let me take you guys over to the scan tool and show you what codes we have present. So we're going to click on OBD2. There we go. And you can see it shows us our VIN number, tells us our mil status, which is letting us know that the check engine light is on. tells us that we have 2 DTCs stored in the engine computer. And you can see also our readiness monitor. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now, once we're in here, you can see that we can read IM readiness. That's if you guys are trying to see whether or not you're ready for the state inspection. You can see how many monitors have already been completed. You can see right here all the different monitors we have. So there's that data. If we come back over here, we can read live data. But before we do that, let's go ahead and read our fault code and see what we have. Okay, so our fault code, starting up at the top, we have this P0171 system 2 lean bank 1. We have this P2017 intake manifold runner position sensor switch circuit high bank 1. These are current codes, and these down here are pending codes. So now that we know what codes we have stored, if we scroll down, you can see the rest of them. Oh, we also have this P0420. It's also a permanent code. So now that we know what codes we have, we can actually run a report on this thing. So if you guys are interested in something that can generate a report, it looks like this scan tool should be able to do one for you. There we go, it's generating it. That's actually pretty cool. If you take a look here, you can see up at the top, you can put your business information. Here you have the vehicle information, such as the VIN number and whatnot. And then you have the inspection result here. It gives us the different codes that we have. And so if you click on this, it'll elaborate on what we have, I believe. Yeah, so if we scroll down, you can see the different codes that we have. It gives us a live data quantity. Now, the really cool thing about this is that we can export this as a PDF, and we can send this to our email address. So if you guys have a customer, you're looking at their vehicle, they want a report, you can email it directly to them. Now, if we back out of here, we can go back to our live data, because now that we know we have a lean code, one of the things I want to do is take a look at our fuel trim values. So if we scroll through this menu here, you can see all of the live data that we can pull. I think what I want to do is try to concentrate on the fuel trim values. So let me see if I can find, here we have our long-term fuel trim. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Long-term fuel trim, and then let's see our short-term fuel trim. Short-term fuel trim bank 1. I'm going to hit OK. And so here we have our 2 long-term and short-term fuel trim numbers. And you can see we are way up high at 28%. And so what that's telling us is that this is definitely running lean at the moment. Now, if you guys didn't know, an easy way to determine whether or not you're dealing with a vacuum leak or a fuel supply issue when it comes to your lean condition is take a look at the fuel trim numbers whenever you raise the RPM up. So I'm going to raise the RPM. I'm going to hold it somewhere maybe around 3,000 RPM. RPM gauge is on this side. So right about, I'll try to hold it steady. So right there, right about 3,000 RPM. I'm going to hold it steady. We're going to take a look at our fuel trim numbers. We're going to see whether or not they get better or they get worse. So you guys can see, holding it steady at 3,000 RPM, we're down to 13 on the long-term fuel trim. So what that tells us is that more than likely what we're dealing with is a vacuum leak. Now, the reasoning behind that is because whenever you're dealing with the vacuum leak, it really only affects the engine during idle. During the time that your foot is not on the accelerator pedal and the throttle body is closed, the intake manifold is under a vacuum, and that's when the computer can detect whether or not we have a vacuum leak. Now, once you step on the accelerator pedal and open up the throttle body, you're introducing the atmospheric air pressure from the outside, and then at that point, it basically renders a vacuum leak irrelevant. Now, on the other hand, if we had an issue where we had a fuel supply problem, where maybe we had a weak fuel pump, what we're gonna see is that the higher the RPM goes, the worse the fuel trim numbers are gonna go. So let's say we started out at 28 and we raise the RPM up to 3,000 RPM, and you see that our fuel trim values actually get worse. They go up to 35, maybe even 40. I've seen some fuel trims get up that high. If you see that the fuel trims are getting worse, the higher the RPM, well, that's because the higher the RPM, the more demand for fuel the engine has. And if the pump is too weak, it can't keep up with that fuel supply. So that's a quick and easy way to use a scan tool like this to determine whether or not we're dealing with a vacuum leak that's causing our lean condition or a fuel supply issue. So there's a lot of different things that we can do with the global OBD2 function, but the scan tool does not stop there. Let me take you back over to the home page. We'll come over here to scan. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the 6 different modules that this thing allows you to communicate with. So we're going to do auto search, and that's going to check for the software version that we need for this. We're going to let this thing download. All right, so here we have it. You can see it identified it as a Chrysler. It gives us the VIN number, the year, the make, the model. So we can go ahead and hit OK and see if we can do a system scan on this thing. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and run a health report, and you can see it's scanning the PCM, the TCM, ABS module, SRS, which is the airbag, BCM, body control module, and also, what else do we have here? The cabin compartment or the instrument cluster module. So now we have all of these modules here that are showing up. So we can go in here and take a look at any of these, see if we have any codes in the TCM. Now that we're in the TCM, we can read fault codes, see what we got, DTC information. Oop, I hit the wrong button. My mistake. I'm trying to look through the viewfinder on the camera, so my perception is off a little bit. So you can see we have no DTCs in the transmission control module. We can also come in here and clear fault codes. We can read data stream, which is actually really cool. I didn't think that we could do that with this little scan tool. So yeah, there we have it. We can do data PIDs. We can take a look at live data for the transmission. So we can look at the torque converter slippage. We can look at the switch states here for the reverse switch, neutral switch, park switch. We can also look at the current gear that we're in. So there's a lot of data PIDs here we can look at. Back out, we can come up here and read the module information. So we can even pull the part number off of the TCM. That's really cool. So let's back out or hit OK, back out. And then I guess let's go into the ABS module, see if we have any fault codes in here. We'll read fault codes, DTC information. No DTC stored here, so we can back out. Again, we can look at live data for the ABS. So take a look at all of this data we can check out. Brake switch status, drive configuration, ignition sense, initialization, lateral acceleration. We can look at the wheel speed sensors. So let me highlight these wheel speed sensors, and I can highlight the brake switch status and hit OK. We can take a look at these. So you can see right now the brake pedal is not being pressed. I'm going to go ahead and press the brake pedal, and you can see it's being pressed at the moment. And of course you can look at our wheel speed sensors, but we're parked in the garage, so it's not going to be showing any numbers. But again, just showing you how powerful this little tool is. If we back out, we can go into the supplemental restraint, which is the airbag module. Take a look here, read fault codes, see if we have any fault codes here. We have no DTCs in the airbag system, so that's a good thing. Again, we can read data, go into the airbag and read all of this data here. Man, that's really cool. This is stuff that you usually only find in high-end level scan tools, and that's pretty cool that it's in this little pocket size machine. So anyways, if we back out, we can go into the body control module, which should be interesting because there's a lot of functionality when it comes to the body control module. So let's read the fault codes, see if we have anything stored in here. We do have two different codes stored: starter control circuits and right low beam control circuit. So those are some codes we're going to mention to the owner of the vehicle. And then again, we can go in here and read the data stream, and there's a lot of different data we can pull from the BCM module. So if we click up here, AC refrigerant pressure, battery voltage, which, you know, the battery voltage, you can actually see it up here at the top. So if you look again, we're running, and you can see our battery voltage is at 4.6 volts, or excuse me, 14.6 volts. And so this tool allows you to just continuously monitor the battery voltage that we're getting from the data link connector at pin 16 down there. So really cool thing to have. Now if we come here, we can check the brake fluid level, we can look at the coolant temperature, we can look at a lot of different things. I mean, take a look at all of these data PIDs that we can look at: wiper data PIDs, headlamps, horn request. We can look at all of this stuff. So I'm just gonna, take a look at what we selected here. AC refrigerant pressure, you can see where we're at, 8.5 bar. Battery voltage, brake fluid level is normal, coolant temperature. So all of this stuff inside of this little scan tool. I'm gonna back out. We're gonna go into, what else do we have here? We have the instrument cluster, so we can come in here, take a look at fault codes, see if we have anything stored here. I'm gonna click on DTC information. We have no DTCs here, so I'm gonna back out. And again, we can come in here and read the data stream for the instrument cluster. Once again, we have tons of data that we can look at for the instrument cluster. Again, a lot of this stuff is stuff that you're only going to find on high-end scan tools. And so this is really cool that we can pull this data up on this little scan tool here. So you can look at the left door jar, left front door, which, by the way, the door is open because I'm sitting inside of the driver's side over here. and we can compare it to the left rear door, which is closed. Then we have the turn signal. So I'm going to hit OK, and we can take a look at the data PIDs. You can see our left door is ajar because I have the door open right now. The left rear door is closed. The turn signal is off. I'm going to hit the left turn signal and take a look. You can see that it's turning on and off, on and off, on and off. So that is a really cool thing we can do with the scan tool. So I'm going to back out and see what else we have. Man, this is actually a lot of fun looking at all the stuff that we can do. Again, we can go into the PCM, and here we can actually read more data under this Chrysler software than we can with the global mode. So when we first connected this, we were in a global mode, and so we're kind of limited to the amount of data. But once we go into the Chrysler mode, we can read all of the data streams that we could with the high-end level scan tool. So take a look at all of these. Of course, we got the fuel trims like we looked at earlier, but you know, we have a whole lot more using this Chrysler software. So this here is all of the data PIDs that you would find in any of the high-level scan tools. Like I said, this is what you need if you're a DIY guy, or if you're just trying to run a quick diagnostic. I would definitely look into getting a tool like this. Now, we're not done yet. There is still some more stuff that I need to show you guys. Again, like I said, you get 5 free resets and maintenance functions that you can come into the Think store right here and download. So if you click right here, again, software, you get 5 free maintenance software of your option. No charges will incur when you select them. So if you go ahead and obtain these 5 free, like I said, they are yours for life, and you can choose whichever ones you want. If you come in here and hit obtain, you can go through and take a look at all of the different functions that they allow you to get. So we have air fuel ratio reset, ABS bleeding, AdBlue reset, AFS reset, airbag reset, battery matching, brake reset, coolant bleed, DPF regeneration, EGR adaptation, electronic throttle, gear learn, gearbox. We even have an immobilizer function in here. We have injector functions, language change, knock sensor resets, odometer meter, oil maintenance reset, which is one I know a lot of you guys are going to want to download. Again, we have seat calibration, steering angle reset. That's a really important one too. Stop and start reset, sunroof, suspension resets, TPMS resets, transport mode, tire reset, window calibration. I mean, there is a ton of different functions that you can come in here and obtain. Like I said, 5 for free. And if you want any more additional software, you can come in here and buy them for a very reasonable price. So if you look up here at the top, you can see right now the prices range from about $29.95 for each function. And I believe that when you buy them, they're good for the year. And like I said, you get 5 free, but if you want any additional software, you can always come in here and buy it. All right, guys, so after doing a quick smoke check on the intake manifold, we were able to determine exactly where the vacuum leak was coming from. Take a look here. Okay, guys, so if you take a look right down here, you can actually see where the vacuum leak is coming from. There is this little actuator or motor on the side of the intake manifold here. So as you guys can see, we were able to determine that the vacuum leak was coming from the intake manifold runner control. And so that is going to be on the list of the many things that need to be repaired on this truck. You might find this truck in some of my other videos where we replaced the air compressor and did like the radiator and stuff like that. So if I haven't posted those videos yet, you're probably going to see those on my channel because this truck needs a lot of work. Anyways, like I said, if you guys are interested in a tool like this, make sure to check out the link in the description. There will be a coupon code for this. Now, there are 2 different versions. I think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. But this one here is the SD6 version. Now the SD6 version is going to give you the 6 different modules that you can communicate with. Again, like I said, you can communicate with the engine control module, the transmission control module, the ABS, the airbag, the BCM, the instrument cluster. And so that is included with this tool. And then again, like I said, you also get 5 free maintenance resets. Now on the other hand, if you guys decide to purchase the SD4, which, I mean, hardware-wise, it looks like it's the same tool as this, but the difference is that it only gives you 2 modules that you can communicate with. You only have 2 different maintenance functions that you can choose. Again, you get the 2 for free, but if you decide to purchase any additional software, you can go in there and buy it and add it to the tool. So that's not a big deal. If that is what you're looking for, make sure you read into it before you decide which one you want. Like I said, right now, I would definitely recommend the SD6 for the price difference and because right now there's a really good coupon code that I was able to get for you guys. So make sure you check the description before you go out and buy this. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, first of all, I want to say thank you for your continuous support, and you made it to the giveaway. So if you guys are interested in entering for a chance to win this for free, all you got to do is comment #giveaway in the comment section. Check the details below because I will be posting the date and the time when I'm going to go live to announce the winner. So make sure you put that comment into the comment section. Again, it's #giveaway. Then make sure you check the date for when we're going live to announce the winner. Anyway, at this point, I'm gonna end out the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found it useful, informational, educational. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.